So, anyways, let's start with intros because I'm sure there's people here that and most of you have played with each other, or talked to each other before, but
played video games with each other. Yes.
Yes, that's what that's what I meant. Obviously.
Clarification.
All right. So, top left is broke his phone. Also, don't you have broken phone on one of the other?
No, it's just broke his phone. Broken phone is Lydia.
Oh, okay. So broke his phone on everything. He is a streamer on Twitch under broke his phone. Plays a lot of mostly Hunt Showdown. Plays some Sea of Thieves. We've been playing together a long time. If you've been watching my stream before, you've definitely heard and seen broke a whole bunch.
Yeah,
How old are you?
last night.
You're like mid-20s, aren't you?
He's older than me.
Yeah, no, definitely mid-20s.
He's older than me, dude.
29.
What is that above my head? Oh, that's my chat. I was like, what the fuck is that? I didn't realize that that's where I put the chat box, and I have to move it up a little bit there. So now it's not weird. All right, so hey, appreciate the follow, Flying Lizard. So Drache, we're just gonna call you Drach. I'm good with that. Met you playing Sea of Thieves, right? It was you and it's like your roommate or something we were playing with. It was two of y'all, and then I believe there was somebody else on that game.
Yeah, it was actually with me and my roommate and her boyfriend.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Yeah, we were playing on there and decided to, we need a fourth.
Hell yeah. No, that was a good time. We definitely need to play again too. It's been a while. But then I've been jumping around with work and everything else. But is it private? You guys do like multi-stream setups too, where you're streaming your video into the one of, you do something really unique that I still can't even figure out how you're doing it, right? You guys are streaming into a single account, but you have multiple cameras on the same stream from different places.
So basically kind of the same way you're doing it here with Discord, except they're also streaming to Discord, and I'm grabbing it off of Discord and putting their stuff up so I can kind of move it around and, kind of move around who's watching who and what's going on.
Cool.
That's cool.
And then, so bottom left, that is Cobra, also known as Cobra Kai. Also, this creepy heart licky thing that he sent me and assisted, because he's refusing to do a face reveal, which is fine. We'll see him eventually. One day.
Even Eden wants the Cobra face reveal.
Hell yeah. Oh yeah, and Drach, do you stream under that name, or do y'all have like a multi account, right? I forgot to mention.
Yeah, we have Gamers and Unicorn.
Okay,
we do it off of that one. I'm kind of starting my own, but I don't know if I'm going to be streaming with it. I'm probably going to be sticking to streaming just as a group.
But, okay. All right. So Cobra. Does not stream that I'm aware of.
Not recently.
Not recently, but you just said you're buying a face cam, so you're thinking about it, maybe?
Probably gonna start streaming again, yeah. I used to stream on Mixer, and then Mixer died.
Of this group here...
Yeah, Eden was apparently famous on Mixer. That's what she
Mixer died.
Yeah, Mixer. I honestly didn't hate the interface for Mixer. I tried it a little bit, like I screwed around with it. I didn't hate that interface. It just died because there was just too many. I think there was too many players in the game. Like you already had Twitch with the dominating force on the live stream front, and then YouTube was picking up live streaming at the time too, and it just shit all over Mixer. But anyway, of the 5 of us here, I think it's between you and Shib of the variety of games that you guys play. Literally every time I get into Steam, Cobra, I see you playing something different. Like I don't other than Hunt that you play with us. Like I don't think I've seen you play the same game twice. Every time it's something different.
I've got a little bit of everything. I honestly think I have like over 500 games on Steam.
Wow.
Damn. Yeah, I have a lot, but I only play probably 10% of them because I pick up humble bundles. You know what those are, where you get like the free.
Oh yeah, back
or,
in the day, I used to get that.
Yeah, I have so many games from Humble Bundles that I'm like, if I look through my library, I'm like, what the fuck is this? I've never even played this. I don't know what it is. Because I got it for like one game and then everything else, I didn't give a shit about. All right, and then bottom right corner, shibOG, the man, the myth, playing shib streams on Twitch as shibOG, and then plays Hunt, plays fucking League of Legends. I've seen you playing you play Sea of Thieves. Yeah, you do a lot of stuff. You haven't been in Call of Duty in a minute though. You used to be playing a lot of Warzone.
Yeah, the problem with Call of Duty for me, because I've been streaming more, and Call of Duty is so heavy on the rig that like it actually will. It's the only game on my whole library that will make my stream actually pretty janky. So I've been staying away from it while I'm live. I still love the game though.
Don't you have a 2070 though?
Yeah, but that game, dude, that game has even blue screened my whole computer, like to the point where it shuts itself off and restarts. Like, I don't know what's up with that game, but I avoid it like the plague when I'm trying to actually make content. Because
I think it might. I think it's just like, well, it might just be poorly optimized too. Like, because that game is one of the few, right, that has so many like texture options and everything else where you can like. Yeah. You can set the textures to like 4K, but you can play in 1080p, and like it doubles up the texture resolution and all that other shit. It's so much crap.
Yeah, but other than that, I actually just downloaded Star Wars Battlefront 2, the remake.
Yeah.
That game is actually so fun. Running around, being able to slash people up with a lightsaber and stuff again. It's pretty cool.
All right, so basically, whatever you guys want to talk about, like I said, we've got the topic list there, but like just wherever it goes, we just before we started, that something I want to touch on definitely is no spoilers, by the way, if you have seen it, but Kong versus Godzilla, or Godzilla, how do they title it? Godzilla versus Kong?
The movie.
I don't know which one it was. Yeah, but probably sounds about right.
So who is winning that fight, and why? That's what I want to know, because I have a theory. I have not seen it, and I think I heard it from somebody else, but I'll let you guys go first.
Godzilla.
Hands down, just Godzilla.
Why?
Well, I mean, the 2000s Godzilla would definitely F him up, and also the old 1950s Godzilla would also F him up. But like, I don't know how they portray him in this one, but back then, like, Godzilla was always portrayed as more or less at least in the Japanese version, it was like the savior of, I don't know if I'm pronouncing it right, but it's the kaiju or something, but it's like the Japanese monsters. And so Godzilla was always sort of the savior of the monster that comes up or something. And King Kong was not as much of a monster, but from what I remember, he fucked him up in the old one. And then the 2000, I think it's 2000 or 2001 Godzilla, that one was like, there's spawns of mini Godzillas. Like that one it was like a mama Godzilla with a bunch of raptors. Like King Kong has no chance against an army of 20 million raptors and a giant Godzilla. Like, no. So maybe the current one's going to be different, because maybe it's just like,
I agree with you on the Godzilla winning 100%. My thought process is just because they come from different times. Godzilla fights tanks and missiles and still can beat ass with a giant laser beam mouth, whereas Godzilla came from a time where he got captured by humans using World War II era weapons back in the movies, back in the day. So I mean, it's just not a comparison there. Godzilla's just gonna destroy him in my head.
And Godzilla's also got like a laser cannon in his mouth or whatever it is.
Yeah.
Well, so
that's super laser beam breath. Like, come on.
That's new Godzilla with the laser cannon, right? Because it wasn't original Godzilla just a fire breather.
Yeah, he's always had
old
that.
One had. Oh, okay.
No, he'd be wrecking towns and stuff. He'd like step on a town and do it and miss, and then just like chop a skyscraper in half. And what I loved is the old movies never ever sort of like acknowledge the deaths that would come from that. It's just like, that's probably 1,000 people in that tower. Oh, he's stepping through a giant village right now.
So nobody thinks Kong even like, what about agility, right?
We got Eden in the chat thinking Kong. We got Eden in the chat.
Eden's saying Kong.
I see it as basically, if Kong is able to get up close and personal, he'd have a chance. But
Right.
Yeah.
at a distance, no. There's just nothing.
So ranged combat, yeah, for sure. Godzilla has the up with the laser cannon and everything else, but then Godzilla's got like these arms that are literally like not even a quarter of his body. He's got the T-Rex complex, right? So like he's not picking shit up. He's not
in this new one.
Is he
Really?
full elbow swinging?
If you look at the trailer, yeah, he's swinging with fucking Godzilla. I mean with Kong.
Okay.
He's throwing bows, like he's in there.
Because I've definitely seen
that's
at least
kinda
old
like
Godzilla, maybe.
it feels like they just made his arms a bit
Yeah,
bigger
he's
in
got
this one,
arms.
but they're still not as versatile as an ape.
Let me look this
Yeah, he's
up.
not a giant gorilla. That's for sure.
Yeah.
And also, King Kong has a lot of experience fighting reptiles. In the Peter Jackson King Kong movie, he was ripping T-Rex's mouths open.
Mhm.
That's
Ooh,
true,
I
but I'd
like-
say Godzilla's a little bigger than a T-Rex.
Okay, so now the pictures that show up for Google when you Google like the trailer pictures or whatever, he's still got short. Like he does have elbow action there. He's got like a bicep and he's got some agility, or like reach, but it's nothing compared to a gorilla, dude. Like you're talking about like full the shoulders on Kong and the ability to like fully reach and grab and everything else. Like Godzilla's definitely limited in that aspect
so
for sure.
all of the Godzillas always had the same arm lengths, and they were always longer than T-Rexes. I'm looking at all of them; they all have the same arm length. So like he never had that disadvantage apparently.
It's a misconception.
They're so tiny that it kind of looks like that because
It's
he
just
kind of
because
comes.
he's
They
so
come
big.
down and go out, and he's such this massive thing, and then he doesn't really use them. He bites. He swipes
he
with the
does.
tail. He
Yeah.
crushes things.
Because he's
You know?
built, he's a lizard, right? So he's got like the crocodile looking like setup, not the full. I mean, but he's very like it's all neck, and then
He's
then
built
there's
different.
it goes well, it goes straight into torso, but like Kong has like the humanoid gorilla shape where he's he's got neck and shoulders and everything else, but he's got like a much slimmer body, and then the legs too, which we haven't even talked about. Like Kong's got the like full actual thighs and everything else, and the ability to like run. Whereas Godzilla is looking at like, yeah, he's got big legs and everything else, but he's got the tail, which can be seen as an advantage, but also a disadvantage, right? Because the agility of the extra weight there and the extra size, I feel like might be a drawback.
Well, big thing too is Godzilla is mainly a water. He is an aquatic kind of thing, and
he's a lizard.
with Kong, he's a land-based animal. So all I want to really see though is them go full Bowser with him. I want to see Kong fling Godzilla around by his tail.
That'd be crazy.
But if we get into like a little bit more like a conspiracy kind of theory thing on this, I don't think that they're going to end up going like for broke on each other. I think there's going to be something else that pops up.
Yeah, so that's where I was
they
gonna.
find a heart in each other and they become friends.
No. So I haven't seen it, but I heard this theory a while back, and that's what I kind of felt too, was that they were gonna be fighting each other, and then another adversary is going to show up, and they have to fight together to defeat said adversary. So neither one of them lose the fight.
Hmm.
And
I mean,
I think
that'd be how you get the fans to be like, okay, that was decent.
Right, like nobody's gonna be mad that way, right? Now you pleased everybody because it was, is it Mecha Godzilla or whatever is the one that shows up in the trailer, and that's what everybody was talking about, where that possibility was there because I think it's Mecha Godzilla or something. It's a different version of Godzilla that's like the super bad Godzilla, I guess. I don't know. I don't know the lore of Godzilla that much.
All I seen was that picture of them going right at each other.
although they do like fight. That the trailer shows them like literally standing on either end of an aircraft carrier and like throwing shit at each other. Regardless of who wins, I could see it being a good movie, just like high action, fucking Michael Bay film style shit. Like if you're not going there expecting shit to blow up, you're in the wrong place. Like that's 100% what that movie's for. It's not a lot of not a lot of Oscar-winning dialogue in Godzilla versus Kong.
Directed by Michael Bay.
Is it really? It should be.
I don't know.
Yeah, no, it
It
I
seems
would
like a movie
not
that
be
would
shocked.
be.
Yeah, 100%. Like this is
There's
definitely like
explosions everywhere.
designed, a movie designed for shit to blow up. Like that is a CGI masterpiece.
I mean, if things aren't blowing up all over the place, I will be disappointed.
Right, exactly.
Are you guys gonna watch it from the comfort of your home?
Yeah,
Or
unless
gonna
I
see
have
it
to
in
pay.
the
Oh yeah.
Once the theater opens up.
I think they are around us. I don't know. I don't plan on going until I'm vaccinated, but
Yeah, they're starting to open in some places, I think, but it's such reduced capacity. And then I honestly don't know if the, at least for a long time, if the the desire is going to be there. You know what I mean? Like I don't know that there's going to be a lot of people that are just like chomping at the bit to go out and like hang out with a bunch of other people in a closed space.
yeah.
Maybe not in a closed space, but I know a lot of people are going stir crazy that just want to get out and do anything at this point.
Yeah.
Right, and they are. I mean, there's especially the weather warming up and stuff. They're going to parks. People are outside. They're, that way you can somewhat feel reasonably safe or whatever, and not have to worry about shit. And then also just to get the fuck out of your house. But like, because when it initially started, right, it was winter everywhere, and so like people were already cooped up.
Yep.
So
everyone had to stay inside.
that's actually a good segue. Is any of y'all vaccinated yet?
Nope.
Nope. I'm supposed to
Nope.
be getting it. So
I got the first shot.
Cool.
All right.
Yeah,
I'm on the wait and see list. I'm gonna wait and see how it goes for everyone else.
I'm supposed to be considered an essential worker because I do towing for a living, but still haven't gotten anything with any of our guys.
I was allowed to do it as an essential worker because I both do grocery delivery and I do Uber and Lyft 2 weeks ago, but I have tried at this point 5 different locations and it's like next to impossible right now to get an appointment. When I talked to a pharmacist, they just told me that basically when they get the appointments released, they're usually gone within 20 minutes and they don't have like an actual set time they release them. So it's just it'll pop up and you hope you get them. So that's what I'm doing right now. But then I got one. I still have an appointment coming up Wednesday for a vaccine, but I don't want to do it because my fiance actually got it for me. It's the J&J vaccine, which has only 66% effective rate in preventing COVID-19, and like I'd rather get the other two, which have 94 and 95. It's like I'm not.
Wait, what? That's a thing?
Yes.
Yep.
Wait, there's a difference in the 160 and 190?
Yes.
What the fuck?
Yep.
So
someone fucked up somewhere.
Well, the
that
main thing is the J&J. The J&J. So this is the better way to look at it is the 95 and 94% efficiency rate on the prevention of COVID-19 from those vaccines is astonishingly high because the normal flu vaccine every year only prevents about 40 to 60% chance. Okay, so the Johnson & Johnson vaccine, when you think about it, that 66% is actually a normal rate for most flu shots and stuff, if not a little higher. And it's a single vaccination compared to the other two, which are multiples. It also works differently, like completely different than the other two vaccines work. I don't know. The numbers are, people are saying it doesn't matter that much, but I know the numbers are so different that I want to get the one with higher numbers.
I mean, yeah, that makes sense.
It does.
Crazy,
and Johnson & Johnson is like, that's my fucking shampoo company. I'm sorry, but
Yeah, I mean everybody seemingly jumped on that train, especially like when all that, because there's always money to be made somewhere, right? And I noticed that first thing, like there were companies that were making something else entirely on Amazon or whatever it was, and then once like people started to need masks or whatever, they completely shifted their business model to like nothing but masks. Like that's all they make now or whatever, because they knew people would buy them and they could start making money where they might have been struggling before.
Well, that's also like in those government mandated things where people started having to produce masks.
Yeah, and then they didn't distribute them.
Yeah.
Right.
They stole them off to what was it? It was a couple other countries that they were selling them to because they were able to make more money.
See, and this is where they get you with the J&J vaccine. So I'm just gonna read this so I don't verbatim, so I don't mess it up. But it's like the FDA says the J&J's vaccine offers strong protection against what matters most: serious illnesses, hospitalizations, and deaths. One dose is 85% protective against the most severe COVID-19 illnesses in massive study that span 3 continents. But then the CDC reports the J&J vaccine was 66.3% effective in preventing COVID-19 illnesses. So it's like, yeah, I'm glad that it's not going to send me to the hospital with an 85% chance, but you're still going to give me COVID with a 44% chance of giving me COVID. Like it's, yeah. And then clinical
34.
trials, Moderna's vaccines reported 94.1% effectiveness in preventing COVID-19.
I ran a poll in chat. I wonder what the viewers think here, whether or not they want to get the vaccine as well. Yeah, there's the anti-vax argument, or the people that are just not interested in it, at least right now. I've heard a lot of I can still get the virus with the vaccine, so like why do I even bother with it? Well, the percentage is very high of actually keeping you from getting the virus
for the two.
right, exactly, but also what people don't realize is that like the vaccines you get when you're a little kid and everything else, you can still get those things you're being vaccinated for. The reason you like the MMR, right, that almost like every kid gets, measles, mumps, rubella, like the reason you don't get it is because those viruses have basically been abolished because so many people got vaccinated. So even if you don't get vaccinated, because there's a lot of people that are, anti that, there's been side effects or whatever, and people are concerned about different things. So they don't get it. And they're like, well, I still don't get those, measles, mumps, or rubella. Yes, that's true. Or that's a very high likelihood that you won't get it. But also, again, because so many people got vaccinated, there's very little of it in the world. And that prevents you from getting it too. So the reason that like it still has a pretty high likely, or a more than 1% chance of getting it with this vaccine or whatever, is because of how quickly this thing is spread and how many people have gotten it, and like how fast it gets, it transmits and everything else. So it's a different environment to get a vaccine in, right? Like we're the first through the line. I don't know how many years ago it was
I don't
that
want to be the first through the line.
No, and I understand that argument too, but I'm saying that like the MMR vaccine, like I don't know how many years ago it was that became a thing, but it's been in my lifetime at least, and I'm 36. So, but before that, like when that stuff started, they developed vaccines for that, and it was rampant at some point. Again, same problem, right? Where they're like, okay, well, I could still get it. Yeah, because there's so many people. Let's see what the results were on the poll.
50-50.
Nah, 50-25-25.
Yeah, one said never, one said yes, and 2 no, waiting for more info. So yeah, that's the most common argument I hear, at least, is the people that say no. They're not like, no, fuck the vaccine or whatever. It's more like, I don't want to be the guy that gets it first or whatever. But and that whole, because right now it's under emergency authorization for the FDA or whatever. Right now, it's not mandatory for like federal employees and all this other stuff because it's still under that emergency authorization. Soon, and I don't know what requirements it actually takes to get it past that point. But once it is, it will be mandatory. The military is going to have to get it. Federal employees are going to have to, like, they're going to make it mandatory. It's not going to be a thing.
I'm going to go live in the woods forever and never see any y'all again.
Heck yeah.
I think the hardest thing is
I'm going to become a butch man.
I have people like my parents, well, specifically my dad has an autoimmune disease, and like, I mean, they have embraced that the COVID is real at this point, but they had the hardest time just saying like, oh, we don't know that many people who get it, blah blah blah, and all those things throughout the whole time it was going on, and then they finally got a couple people close to them get it and got it bad. So that did work to shake them up, but then on the other side of it is my mom has always been like anti-flu vaccine her whole life because she believes that's why my dad has an autoimmune disorder. So she just doesn't want to get it, and then my dad doesn't want to get it because he thinks there's like it's not worth it. And I'm like, I can't sit here and convince you not to, but it's like you're the person that probably should, Dad, because you're the one that's at risk. And then if anything, like my mom could just give it to him even if he gets it and she doesn't. If he just gets the wrong one. But I think
Right.
yeah, I don't know. His scare is because with autoimmune disorder, a lot of things vaccines he can't get because it affects like it like directly affects his disease. But this like these ones don't, and they said they don't, but he doesn't think there's enough testing, and that's why he wants to wait. So that's that side of it.
Yeah. I mean, our experiences shape our opinions, right? I mean, you get it from the way you were raised or whatever too, but then I've definitely heard, I've worked with people that were like, they weren't even sure COVID was like a real thing. They were like, not so much, they weren't QAnon at that point, you know what I mean? But like, they were like, this is, it might be bullshit or whatever. And I don't know if I believe in that stuff. And then a family member of theirs got it, a grandpa got it, and it killed him. And so like their tone entirely changed, and all of a sudden they were like, fuck, this is actually a serious concern. Because a lot of people, there's a lot of people that believe that it's a real thing or whatever, and they're just not worried about it, right? Because most young people, you're in your 20s and you get it, you might not have symptoms at all, and if you do, they're mild at most or whatever for most people, or a lot of people. And so they're not in any real, it's not a super big concern to a lot of people because of that, because they're thinking, okay, I'll just get it, like who cares, like it's not that big a deal, it's a shitty flu for a couple of days or whatever, and then I'll be fine. But that's not the primary public health concern, because it's not you, the young person, that's that everybody's worried about. It's when you go to visit your grandma and your grandma doesn't make it.
Well, speaking on those symptoms, who here actually caught it?
Not me.
Not I.
The only people that I know that got it were pretty mild. Thankfully.
So, my entire household caught it.
Oh, jeez.
I had almost, no problems with it. I had at the 3-week mark, I had kind of a like a bad cold. My girlfriend started having problems with her gallbladder to the point where it was like probably going to have to take it to the emergency room kind of feeling. She wasn't able to sleep. Marissa, she's the one that you've gamed with before there, Salty. She actually, she was bad for about a month. I mean, it knocked her down. She has a bit of an issue with respiratory, so it was bad for her. And her boyfriend was out for about 3 weeks as well with some, severe flu-like symptoms.
Yeah.
I mean, afterwards, I started having problems with my back. It's something I'm still kind of dealing with. Yeah, it didn't come from anything else. All of a sudden, I just started having back issues. It wakes me up when I'm sleeping.
That's fucked.
Yeah,
I have read some stories about like some really weird like side effects that people had like after like like lasting stuff. And then there was a couple of stories written about people that like they called it like eternal COVID or some shit like that. Some people got it to where they got it, they had pretty bad symptoms, they recovered, and then they basically had milder symptoms like they still do, and it's been like a year. Like it never really went away, and so they like have all this like there's respiratory issues and everything else, and especially if you have pre-existing asthma or something like that, like it could be bad. In March of last year, I got tested, and it was the test came back negative, but also it was like the first week of March. I think at the time the tests were kind of bullshit. Like they weren't really, you know what I mean? Like they weren't super accurate as far as like whether or not they could tell you had it, because all of the symptoms, if you Google what like typically happens when you get COVID, I had all of that. I got sick as fuck. And then it was like a 2-day thing that like I got a fever and everything else. I felt really, really bad. It was like either the second or third day I started to feel better, and like my fever went away, and then that night, like 6 hours later, it crashed again, and I went up to like a 101 and like felt like dog shit again. And like so like textbook, like what they were saying the symptoms were supposed to be and everything else, I feel like I had it. But it tested negative, and again, it's whether or not you believe early on that the tests were accurate, and then also they still haven't developed the antibody, the thing they were going to be able to like check to see if you've ever had it or something like that. Yeah. But at this point, even if they do, I've had the first shot of the vaccine and I'm scheduled for the second, so I would have the antibodies anyway, so I'll never really know if I had it. But yeah, so what I had sucked. The body aches were fucking horrible.
Oh yeah. The body aches were really hitting my roommates hard. They were constantly complaining about muscle aches. But I actually had 2 tests. One of them was a scare that we had back in October, and that was a self-administered test from I don't want to say the name of it, drugstore. And they basically give you a bag, have you sit right there so they could see you, and then they have you shove that thing up your own nose and swab it around in there. And oh man, that thing was horrible. But that test came out negative, and then we found out that somebody at work had it, and that's why I took the second test, and then it came out positive. And that one I actually went to a one of those drive-in clinics, and they tested it themselves, and it still was a shitty experience, but it was a lot easier to have somebody else do it than you try and shove that thing all the way up into your brain.
Yeah, because it goes in. When I got that they stick that long ass Q-tip and it goes like they're touching your fucking brain through your nose or whatever. It sucks.
Oh man, they were horrible.
Yep. So I definitely just want to get it as for myself, but I don't want to get the vaccine that I'm currently scheduled to get on Wednesday. So I'm canceling that appointment, and I want to get one of the ones that I feel like is a lot more effective and will give me more peace of mind. Fuck it, I'm trying to go to Jamaica by the end of the year for our honeymoon, so
that'll be cool.
Oh yeah, congratulations again.
Yeah, that'll be really cool.
Yeah, congrats.
Now, yeah, we haven't got married yet.
The trip will still be.
Are you thinking of bailing?
No, you're saying congrats now, and I'm like, well, it hasn't happened. I don't know.
Yeah. Well, congrats on it might happen.
It's happening.
Yeah, right.
It's happening. It's 100% happening.
Oh, my mic's being weird. There we go. You guys hear me still? Is it good?
Yeah.
No.
Yes, sir.
Okay. All right. It was peaking weird, and I don't know. Sometimes my audio thing. Yeah, we did Dominican Republic for our honeymoon, and that was fucking great. I loved. What did we do? A week, I think, and it was like there was a lot of relaxation on the beach time or whatever, but then we did a lot of what they call excursions or whatever, where you go out and like do something. We did zip lining through a rainforest. We did fucking riding like these go-kart things through on the like back roads up to a beach or whatever. We did all kinds of stuff. It was a good time.
Yeah, I mean, she's the one who suggested Jamaica, but we were gonna actually have our wedding in Jamaica and just have my parents and her parents and like my brother and her sister come out. But it's just because of my dad's and my parents' refusal to not get the vaccines. It's like I don't see them being able to travel without a vaccine, at least within this year.
Wait, you were talking about getting married in Jamaica?
Yeah, so we're just gonna do the ceremony here and then do our honeymoon there.
Oh yeah, I was gonna say because destination wedding like that ends up racking up in cost.
No,
like really.
So that's the thing is Jamaica. Lydia found a hotel that as long as you book 20 nights between your entire party, all the wedding stuff is comped. And so like if we have a couple, we got my parents, her parents, and then her sister, and then my brother and his wife coming out. That's 4 rooms right there. They stay for like 2 or 3 nights. We stay for a week. That's the whole wedding comp right there. And it's like an all-inclusive hotel and all that stuff too. So, and it's Jamaica. But yeah, can't do it because
thanks COVID.
Yeah, but it's whatever. Hey, I'll still be going to Jamaica hopefully, so that'll be fun.
Yeah, right.
I haven't been. I mean, I went to Hawaii, I guess 5 or 6 years ago, and that was my first time to Hawaii. I don't want to go again unless, I mean, I'm going with people I know and it's fun, but like it's very commercialized. I did not enjoy it. Like it was beautiful and all this stuff, but like the second you leave like the touristy areas, it's really impoverished and it's depressing. And it's like oh, I'm in South Seattle, but I'm in Hawaii. Like what the fuck?
Yeah, that's kind of the way the Dominican Republic is. It's the same, and I assume that a lot of these places are like that, destination places where people go for honey, Cancun and shit like that, because the DR was the same way, man. They literally told us at the hotel or whatever, you can't, like, we were in an all-inclusive resort, and then we went out to like excursions or whatever, and it was always like a transport service that would come pick us up and then take us to whatever it was, but you weren't allowed to go outside. They highly recommended you don't go outside the hotel or whatever, because even in the areas where all the resorts are, the streets are so bad or whatever that you'll literally get, like, you could get held up. And because the money comes from tourism, and then it doesn't really, like, all the locals, you basically have no choice other than to like work for the hotels or whatever and everything else, and I'm assuming they pay okay or whatever, but like it doesn't become very like equalized economically. It's like super like one way or the other, right? Like it'll be super nice hotels and like super nice area, and then everything around it is absolute dog shit. Like it's completely impoverished and everything else.
I think the most fun I had at Hawaii was the 2 things that I went to the Mount I can't pronounce it. It's like the Mountain of the Rising Sun, and we watched the sunrise, and that was beautiful. And then we went to like this twisty road. There's a specific name for it, but there's like 100 and something turns in this road. But when you get up there, it's like the middle of nowhere, and like there's just a tribe up there of people who have like lived there their whole lives, and like they obviously have their whole like village lives off the tourists who come out there and stuff. But it was so different from the rest of Hawaii. Like the food was so different. They had turtle up there. Like the food was just different around that area. Just I felt it tasted so much better. Like, well, turtle's illegal.
Yeah, I don't think you can eat turtles here.
But it was just like it was so much better. Like the beaches were like a lot bigger and like not as crowded. There was this one beach was like a black beach, like all the it's like ash. It was the sand. It was like basically ash had fallen there and then turned into sand. So like all the sand was like black and stuff. It was so cool. But outside of that, when I was over by my family went out there and we stayed at like this little condo. But anytime we were in that area, it just felt like it was like, oh yay, there's a McDonald's here. Like it just felt everything was basic and not. It was like very, for lack of better words, white. Like there wasn't any culture in it. There was no culture until you like left the main tourist parts.
Well, that's kind of the same with most tourist towns that you'll go and visit. It was that way over there in Mexico when I was living down there too. Any of the tourist towns that you went to, there was the tourist portion, and then there was where everybody else lived.
So, like the in the tourist portion, did people not actually even live there? Like it was just like they only went to where there to work, or?
Yeah, straight up. There was the tourist part of town, and then there's just hotels and places to eat and all that. And then you go just a couple streets back, houses. And then you'd
Damn.
have a couple of markets and stuff like that. And everything this side, all touristy. Everything on that side, just like a small town. And the best thing to do if you really wanted like authentic food was normally to wait towards the end of the day when everybody was either getting off of their normal jobs or they were actually opening up for the people getting off of their normal jobs. And then there would be like these stands that would pop up a little bit further back from the main road. And that's where all the locals would start to eat their food. They, grab from Tacos del Amigo over here or something, over here. And that's where they got the more authentic stuff.
And typically the cost would probably be more reasonable too,
Oh,
right?
heck
Because
yeah.
For sure.
yeah, because I've been on deployment multiple countries, right? And that's the number one thing we see is that they in the touristy areas, it's super like there's like well round, like you can get all the types of food that you're expecting to get in that area. Like if you're in Thailand or whatever, they'll put everything in these places because it's the tourism money and everything else. But the cost, while you feel like it's cheaper or whatever, it's reasonably priced or whatever, if you go out into like the outskirts and stuff where most people aren't going and it's just locals and stuff, literally dirt cheap for food and everything else, and then more diverse. Now, granted, I guess you run the risk of eating something local that you're not familiar with or don't know what you're necessarily getting. But like that's the experience I was, that's what most people are like. I would want to look for, right? Like I want to try something different. I'm not eating turtle necessarily, but
I
like,
didn't have any
You
turtle.
want some
Okay.
brain tacos?
Yeah,
And
right. There's monkey brains and all kinds of stuff, man. There's all kinds of really fucked up like things. Like what, just different, not fucked up, I guess, but like that's what, don't go to another country and then eat at fucking McDonald's, right? Now, granted, if you go to other countries, McDonald's does serve different things than they serve in the US or whatever, but at the same time, like why sell yourself short on that experience, right? You want to go get something interesting. It's nice to have the comforts of like something you're used to, but at the same time, like, why wouldn't you?
You got to go and try some new stuff, and that's
exactly.
The whole point of traveling
yeah,
around.
That's the point of going around. That's why you want to.
Because I'm just saying, because I know people and I've seen people that are like, they'll literally get off the bus in a totally foreign country they've never been to before, and they go straight for the McDonald's or the Burger King or whatever else, or fucking KFC or something, and they're eating that crap, and you're like, bro, you could get that at home. Like, eat something interesting, right? I've eaten Japanese baby octopus before, which, by the way, I don't recommend, but at least it was really squishy. But like, yeah, they were actually like full, like what an octopus to look like, but really small, like the whole body of the octopus and everything else, and they're all like with a sauce and everything else. I ended up eating French fries because I couldn't do it, but I ate like one or two of them at least. I tried it, right? Like that's you gotta at least try the local flair, and then if it sucks, then you can have Burger King.
Yep.
Joe, that was me. So like Vegas, my first 2 times, I think I've been like 6 or 7 times. My first 2 times though, like I never have White Castle up here in Washington, and I'd have it White Castle when I'd go to Chicago for a family trip. So when I saw White Castle there, like every other meal was White Castle. And then the other meal was Del Taco, because I never knew about Del Taco until I went there, and I was like, dude, this is like better than Taco Bell, but like it's not as good as Mexican restaurant, but it's like almost there. And I just was convinced that it was like the best stuff ever, and I just only eat White Castle and Del Taco for.
Oh, you mean that American Mexican food?
Yeah, right.
Exactly.
Are any of y'all in the southeastern United States, or have you at least been there?
Been there, yeah.
like to Florida or Georgia or North Carolina, South Carolina, that area. So White Castle, you understand what kind of burger that is, right? The little sliders.
There's another. There's in the freezer.
Yeah, so there's another place. It's not the same. It's not the same, but it is. They are still good. But there's another place that's exclusive to that area. It's called Crystal, Krystal.
Not a stripper.
They've been in some financial trouble lately. But which I think has happened multiple times. But
lately, it's been like lately 10 years.
It's been a lot of. They've had problems, but anyway, it doesn't matter. They it's the same style of burger, like the slider or whatever, but it's different entirely. They it's like the rolls are super buttery, and so it's more of a yeasty roll or whatever too. It is so good. Yeah. Noah's saying, yeah, it's so good, dude. Crystal is god tier. Like that. Those burgers are absolutely amazing.
Yeah, I like when I click find store, it's like EG Atlanta, Georgia. I'm like, yeah, this is not gonna be up here.
Right.
Oh my gosh. But yeah, like, see, I think there might be a White Castle here, Washington. I don't think so. No, 0 White Castles found in Washington.
You guys are making me really hungry.
Bro, I know. So I got when Lydia gets off here in the next 15 20 minutes, I'm gonna be like, hey, so I've been seeing these Little Caesars sending crispy commercials, and I just want to try them. So you should stop off and get it because I just ordered it. And then if she says no, I'm gonna be like, crap. Well, I just ordered it. And then hopefully she'll still pick it up. But
Shib, you said you gotta go use the bathroom or something like that.
Yes, sir.
All right, yeah, I got you. I'll just blank your screen out.
Cool. I'll be right back.
All right.
They say no problem. You can find the White Castle products at your local retailer. I know I can, but it's just not the same.
No, it's not. It's
never.
Look at this up though. So those White Castle burgers.
I was gonna ask before because I wanted to know Drach like. Do you do the microwave or do you do the steam method? Because I've never tried the steam method that they say to do.
I've never tried the steam method. I just microwaved them. Okay, I mean, they're good. I know that they would be better having them fresh, but this is the only way I can get them because I live over, here in California.
Yeah. Sorry, Salty.
Oh yeah, no, you're good. So the White Castle burgers, right? The frozen ones in the grocery store. They're microwave designed to be in the microwave or whatever. Look up online. There's other creative ways that people are cooking them, like in the oven and stuff. And apparently, like, I have not done that, but there's people say that it's like better, like to not necessarily microwave them. I think I've seen air fryer instructions, and then people done like oven stuff or toaster oven or whatever, and I don't think any of that's recommended on the box. I'm pretty sure they just say microwave. They might say toaster oven too, but I'm pretty sure it's just microwave. But it sounds, I mean, typically, right, there's a lot of things that if they have either option, like French fries, for example, right, or something, or like mozzarella sticks, good example. If you microwave those, and you can, for some of them at least, they've got like the cheese gets all rubbery and like it turns into a different thing. But if you do them in the oven, totally different experience, right? Like it adds something to it because they cook more evenly and they're not like, you don't radiate your food more or less.
So what I love about, I just looked up like the best ways to cook White Castle frozen burgers, but then I added Reddit to it, because Redditors are smart, right?
Yeah, of course.
Top comment is chug a 6-pack of domestic lagers, take a few shots of Jack Daniels, and microwave sliders as directed.
Yeah, that's the way to make them taste better.
On there, but the oven method sounds very. So it's you bake at 350 in a broiler pan with steaming hot water.
Bro, your cat is fixing to get your bearded dragon.
No, she's not.
Okay.
She sits up there because of the heated lamps, and she just likes to
overheat I got
them.
You.
That's what she's doing. No, she
Wait,
gets
so you said something
Richard.
about hot water?
Yeah, you put it in a broiling pan in the oven with steaming hot water. You got to separate them, the patties, and you can still put them in the broiler pan. You just have to separate them from the buns. And then heat for 10 to 20 minutes to frozen, 10 to 15 minutes to thawed. too much work.
Oh, because
then you pull that shit out.
It is a lot
You
of
don't
work.
pull that out of the freezer and you're like, oh yeah, I'm gonna wait about another 30 minutes for my White Castle burgers. No.
You go. I want to eat now.
Yeah, because
No,
when you
I wanna
think
eat 'em
about
right
White
now.
Castle in your head, you're like, I could go down the street get White Castle because it's fast food. And so it's the same idea. You're not gonna go drive 30. Okay, I might drive 30 minutes for some White Castle once in a while, but we don't have it around us. But
Right.
like, yeah, it's more of an instant thought.
Yeah, because if you think about it, then you're not going to eat it. If you have the time to think about it, you're going to reconsider because there's so many other things you could eat.
Those frozen
Oh, man,
burritos.
that's just reminding me. I got Thai food in the fridge right now.
I'm back,
Ooh.
What
guys.
type?
All right,
Curry.
got you.
Sweet.
Okay.
What kind of frozen? You mentioned frozen burritos. What's the favorite there?
Oh no, I don't know. I was just mentioning them because those are the ones that like the El Monte ones. I feel like they're fine when you microwave them, but then you always think, oh, it's gonna be so much better if I bake this in the oven. And like, oh
They
yeah,
are.
it gets crunchy, but like the flavor is still exactly the same. And then it's so hot, you're like, fuck, I should just microwave them.
No, you know
Yeah,
what's
right.
even better? Going down to an actual Mexican restaurant and.
Yeah,
Wow.
that too. I just had that today. I fucking went to a taco truck down the street from my place. Got me a
Oh, man.
burrito that killed me.
When I grew up down there, you just had all of that food just right there at your fingertips. It's just moving up here, you have to find that one place that makes it good.
Yeah, I mean, my taco truck, I feel like it's good, but like, I don't think I've had like authentic Mexican food when my friend had his mom like come and cook for us, which was really neat. But like besides that, that's the first time I had cactus too. I didn't even know you could eat cactus until then.
Oh yeah, nopal is good with some huevos.
Yeah.
Well, you can eat fucking cactus.
You didn't know that?
know
Yeah,
you could do
pickled
that.
cactus is dank.
So
Sounds
you
pretty
got to
good.
take the skin off of it, and of course all the barbs and everything, and it's got kind of a rubbery texture to it, and it kind of tastes like you're eating kind of like you're eating the chili, but without the spiciness to it.
That's weird.
And it's
So is
good
it
to
like
drink,
is
too.
it squishy? Like is it or is
Yeah.
it like a
Yeah, there's a bit of
Okay.
squish to it.
Imagine
It's,
like a
like I
pickle,
said,
the
kind of
texture.
like a rubbery texture.
Oh, okay.
Not a crunch though.
Yeah.
You don't got that of the pickle.
Yeah.
You know,
It's
got
not
more
like
of
like a Clausen.
but it's not gonna squish in your mouth either. It's not like in between.
Yeah. I liked it. No, that was great. It was good ASMR there. You gotta lean
it's
into
at
it.
half-mast.
What do y'all prefer on breakfast cereal? I know that's
Okay,
kind
I'm
of
gonna
a
be
jump.
honest. Every time especially this has happened with Eggos lately too with me. I've been purchasing once in a couple months. I'll be like, oh fuck, I want some Captain Crunch with berries. I get the milk, and I have a bowl of
Captain
it,
Crunch
and it's
is so
awesome.
fucking
And then I
good.
forget about eating it, and I'm like, fuck, why? I buy it as like a nostalgic impulse, and I don't ever finishing it off or something. And that's all.
I
And
think
I got fucking blueberry Eggos in my freezer right now that I bought ate those two, and it was really good. And then I never made them.
Actually, let's go beyond breakfast cereal. Like just instant breakfast food. Like what's your go-to?
Bacon, egg, and cheese toaster strudel.
Oh, the toaster strudel. The
Fire.
bacon, egg, and cheese one though.
Yeah, dude.
Toaster
they're so
strudel's like
good.
a dessert, man. Like
Yeah,
I gotta
but
do
it's
the
like-
berry ones.
It's
They
like
have
it's like-
breakfast ones.
It's not the one that's like with the frosting on top, but it's the same type of like square pastry, but it's filled
Mhm.
with bacon, egg, and cheese instead. It's just so good, dude.
So it doesn't come with anything to put on top of it.
Nah. There's nothing to put
I'd
on
put
top.
hot sauce on it. I bet it'd be good.
or
Oh
gravy.
man. Yeah.
Gravy?
Now you're
Who has
thinking.
gravy
I like
at
where
8
your
in the
head's
morning?
at.
Who has access to hot gravy at 8 in the morning?
Someone
I
who
mean, you
really
gotta
likes
make it.
biscuits and gravy.
Yeah, right. Like
Oh
you
yeah, that's
gotta-
right. That's true about that. Yeah.
So
But there's the thing:
I
if you already have warm gravy in the morning, you're probably making the biscuits. Why the fuck are you putting them on a toaster strudel?
yeah,
You gotta
right.
have
That's
something to
actually a
eat
good
while
point.
everything's baking.
Yeah, you went through
You
the
need a
trouble to
snack
make
before your
gravy and
breakfast.
then you microwave a toaster strudel or throw it in the toaster anyway. Actually, that's a good question. Do you microwave them or do you toast them?
No,
Because you
Never.
you can microwave them.
Yeah, if you want a thing that has the consistency of a gummy.
Yeah, that's gross.
Mashed potatoes.
So for mine, I haven't been. I'm not a huge breakfast person anyway. I just eat because breakfast is important. You're supposed to eat it, so it's all quick stuff, right? Like I'm not going through any effort. If somebody else makes it, I'll eat it. Like if my wife makes bacon and eggs, cool, I'll do it. But I've been buying these. Jimmy Dean makes a breakfast corn dog. Which sounds like it would be nasty, but it's actually good. So what it is it's a like a sausage, like a breakfast sausage center instead of a hot dog, and then the outside is a pancake. So it's still a bread. So it looks like a corn dog, but it's got it's pancakes and sausage essentially. And they even have different flavors. They've got an original that's just like straight up, and then they've got a blueberry, and then I think there's a cinnamon and sugar one, which is a little too sweet, but it's not bad. But the blueberry one, like it's literally a blueberry pancake wrapped around a fucking sausage.
They're pretty good.
That sounds pretty.
Yeah, you microwave it.
What about Cobra?
Yeah, Cobra, you haven't said shit in a minute. He's just down there licking.
He's licking the corner of your screen.
Dude, I've been staring at that thing for like 20 minutes.
Me too, not even gonna lie, it's pretty disturbing.
I can't stop staring at it.
Kind of messing with my head.
Ugh.
But like as far as breakfast foods go, I like me a good chocolate chip waffle.
Egos?
Yeah, sure.
The chocolate chip though?
Chocolate.
Do you put syrup on it or you eat it straight?
Nah, just eat it straight.
Yeah, see, I can see that with the chocolate chip at least. Or like even the
It's already
blueberry.
so sweet. There's no point adding the syrup on it because of the chocolate chip. It's already too sweet.
Yeah, that makes sense. Breakfast burritos always a go. Eating said, yeah, those. Like I said, you got to try those the Jimmy Dean things, and then I mean their whole brand. I'm not sponsored or anything, but like they make a ton of breakfast shit or whatever, and it's all like microwave, like quick. They make another thing that I've eaten before too, and kind of alternate in with the corn dogs, is like a breakfast sandwich, but the two pieces of sandwich, like where it would normally be bread, is not bread, it's egg. So it's literally no, it's they're egg witches or some shit, and it's their egg. It's no, but they're like it's like a patty made out of egg.
I'm sorry.
It actually ends up being good, I swear. And then the inside is like the standard breakfast shit. They have a bunch of different flavors.
Sounds messy.
No, because it doesn't end up being sloppy because it's like, it's how like frozen egg breakfast sandwich
real
stuff
solidified egg.
Yeah, it's not as you're not going in looking for fresh eggs. you don't go to your freezer section for Jimmy Dean fresh eggs. That's not something we're thinking about.
That's true.
It's like fast food egg patty formed egg witch, I think is what they call them.
Egg witch, dude.
Yeah, they're healthy at least. Like if you're looking for because I've been on the health kick or whatever. That is a huge plus, and they're palatable, right? Like they're not fucking nasty because there's a lot of healthy shit out there for breakfast that's disgusting. But at least those things are actually pretty good, and they're still low cal.
Dude, I was gonna say, so like the breakfast, the sandwiches, especially like the biscuits, like they always taste really good. But they also like every bite, you're like, this is just not the best thing for me to be eating in the morning. Like if you had a normal breakfast, like biscuit with sausage and egg and all that and cheese, it'd be a little bit better for you than the Jimmy Dean one, because the Jimmy Dean one's just like, it's so indulgent.
Well, of course, but I mean, you're trading off convenience for you know what I mean.
I think it's
like
the salt content.
Oh yeah, no, almost everything that anything you're microwaving is full of preservatives, and those preservatives are salt usually. So like all that microwave shit, like you're looking at almost the only thing that's worse is like noodles, like ramen or whatever. Like it's astronomical on some of those ramen cups or whatever. Those things like 1,700 milligrams of sodium, and I think the FDA recommends the average adult get 23 max a day, and so you're already like blowing through all your sodium in one day, like in one meal. And it's not even a meal; it doesn't even fill you up. Like you literally eat a cup of noodle. Yeah, right. You eat a cup of noodles.
Salt.
Yeah, and You basically could just sit down with a bag of Dixie Crystals and eat that instead. Wait, no, Dixie Crystals are sugar. I'm stupid. A bag of Mortons.
Yeah. A whole bag, just dump it in a bottle of
Yeah,
water
right.
and drink it. You'll get the same effect.
When it comes to breakfast, that's kind of like my favorite meal of the day. So I mean, like, get your breakfast burritos, eggs and tocino. You get your uh uh chicken fried steak, the freaking
Damn, you
biscuits and
gourmet chef in the morning. Shit, I
gravy.
ain't got energy for that.
He's
I don't
going
have
for
any.
it. He's working
I
it.
don't
if
have
you
energy
have
to make all this.
anytime you get a chicken fried steak for breakfast, you're ending the rest of your day.
I'm going back to bed.
That's the start to a very good day for me.
Your stomach though is just like.
No, it comes to stuff that I could just make in the morning, though. I mean, corned beef and hash. You just pop that right out of a can.
Oh, that's
throw
that's
it
good
on there.
stuff.
Yeah,
That's good
that's
stuff.
some great stuff right there. But cereal be banana nut crunch.
What? Never had
Yeah,
it.
Banana
like
Nut
banana
Crunch.
nut
Is
crunch.
that like? I don't think I've ever
That's
had that either.
so it's not a brand. There's a couple brands that make it, and it's pretty much
Oh,
whatever I
okay.
can find that's in there at the time. It's usually a store brand.
Banana Nut Crunch. So is it like?
Does it actually taste like bananas?
Yeah, like I mean, is it akin to like what's that Special K strawberry shit? So is it just like flakes and then like the little crunchy bits and then the bananas, or like
Like you have the little thin pieces of dried out banana, and then you'll have these like
look
crunchy
this up.
nut clusters in there, and then you'll have cornflake kind of type thing in there, stuff like that. Everyone does it a little bit differently, but it's good.
Huh. Yeah, no, there's legit a post Banana Nut Crunch, and then Great Grains makes a Banana Nut Crunch. I have literally never, like, I guess it's one of those cereals that like doesn't stick out, so I've probably seen it a billion times and just never thought about eating it.
Oh my god.
I might be
where are
sleeping on
these?
Banana Nut Crunch.
Oh yes. Okay. So this is not a breakfast cereal,
Yeah, they
but
sell it at
this
Target.
is a Canadian Cheetos, but more or less they're called Cheesies. They're crack. They cost like a arm and a leg on Amazon to order, but I have to always have them because like it's like imagine a Cheeto where they put too much Cheeto dust on it, but the Cheeto dust actually tastes like cheese, and that's exactly what it tastes like. Like everything is just drenched with this dust, and like it's always like almost too much. So like these small little bags are like more than enough because each bite is just like, oh fuck, cheese.
Jeez. Wait, and you're paying an arm and a leg from like importing them from
I
Amazon?
think it's
You
like
live in Washington State. You're
so
basically in
8 of
southern
these small
Canada.
bags, I think there's like $25.
Jesus.
$25 for Cheetos.
Just
No,
drive
not
to
Cheetos,
Canada.
Cheesies.
Cheese-ease. So in other countries, a lot of their snack foods is they're different because of the different like there's like most Middle Eastern countries don't use a lot of the ingredients we use here. They're either outlawed or whatever, which should tell us something or whatever. But so like for instance, like their Diet Coke, right, is they don't use aspartame, which is an artificial sweetener. We use that rampantly in the United States, but they don't use it in the Middle East, so they use like real sugar, so it tastes entirely different. Well, they're Doritos, so they don't use they use goat cheese because they like with their religion they worship the cow or whatever, and so like they don't use cow's milk for their cheese. It sounds like it would be gross, and on initial taste, like if I handed it to you and didn't tell you what it was, you just think, oh, it's a Dorito, and it's a shock, right? Because it is different. But once you eat those, and if you've eaten them for a while, it's hard to switch back because not only is that cheese different, but the sodium content is way different or whatever, and they're much more. The goat cheese is like it's a much more cheesy flavor. There's some other stuff that's different about it too, but the salt is a super noticeable thing. So basically, if you were to eat those for like a month, and not eat regular Doritos and then go back to regular Doritos, the saltiness of regular Doritos is like overwhelming. Like you can't, it's so hard to go back because they're so different.
We use a
And
lot
it's actually
of salt.
so
Yeah.
much salt.
But
we
it's
don't
good.
notice it. We don't notice it as much. At least if think about it this way, if you're eating something that's so salty that you notice the salt when we've been all like desensitized to it because there's so much salt in everything we're eating, then that's scary, right? Like if you eat something and you're like, gosh, this is salty, like then you have achieved a level of saltiness that is like probably seriously dangerous. No, this is a salty cast and salty trigger, and none of that intended. But like we just happen to be talking about salt. But like, yeah, the level there is absurd because again, if you go to other countries, they don't do that as much, and so all of their food is typically like half or less of the sodium content that we have here.
Well, I mean, speaking of stuff that was just too dang salty, just the other day we got a pizza from Little Caesars. It was their pretzel one.
Oh,
That
I've
thing-
had that.
Oh my gosh. The
It is
amount
so
of
salty.
salt.
It's absurd. Yeah, it's so good though, right? It's just a regular pizza, and just the crust is like a regular crust, but it looks like they cook it a little more, so it's darker, and then they butter it and salt it. But it's just so much salt. We were knocking some of the salt off, and it was still too much.
Yeah.
What do you do in the salty cooking stream?
Oh man,
Salty cooking stream.
You mean the salty burns down his kitchen stream? Because
Salty
like
cooking
I do not do very well, and there's like two things that I can make, and those two things are like not that difficult to make, and that's about all I got. I make spaghetti pretty well, and I make chili. And outside of that, and I can grill, but I don't count grilling as cooking. Grilling is like no offense to grilling, like it's an art if it's done right or whatever. But like grilling, I don't call cooking simply because I am literally just applying heat to something. You know what I mean? Like it's a whole different thing. It's like separate. I'm just heating it up. But yeah, no, I can't cook shit without burning down my fucking house. Probably.
Yeah, I can do breakfast and grilling. That's about it.
Yeah, you were talking about all this breakfast stuff. He was like, you're waking up at 4 a.m. to make your gravy and shit.
Oh no. I hardly ever do that. Gravy takes a while, and I don't have the time.
When I was a kid, oh, go ahead. Sorry.
Oh, I was just gonna say, but all the other stuff I can make it kind of easy and quick. They also make these like egg bite things that you can get at Costco. You just pop those in the microwave for a little bit, and bam, you got eggs that you can take on the go.
But like a hard boiled egg?
Savate
No.
bites.
Egg bites.
Yeah,
they
bites.
actually have different ones. They some of them come with like the yolk in them. Some of them are white. Some of them come with the bacon and cheese and all that, and other ones come with like vegetables and stuff. I usually get the vegetable ones because I'm trying to eat a little bit healthier.
Egg bites.
I'm so hungry now.
No, right? We've been talking about
literally
food the whole
so
time.
hungry. I'm about to order so much food on Uber Eats right now.
Lydia's not calling me, and Little Caesars closes at 9. I'm getting worried. I'm not gonna get Little Caesars now.
Oh no! Wait, did you already order it?
No, I didn't. Thank God.
Okay.
Oh, you're gonna be that guy that calls like 3 minutes before they close.
Oh my God! Yeah, you're getting spit in your pizza.
You're gonna
No,
be
I'm
that
not.
guy.
Or something other than spit that you don't even want to think about.
They actually have their app now. I used that this last time I got it.
Dude, their app sucks.
It was the only reason I knew that they had the pretzel pizza, though.
Oh, okay. I mean, like it's a simple interface, but like every time I've ever, and I don't order Little Caesars that often, but we just did it like a week and a half ago, and I used the app, and like I had to, it like crashed on me, and I had to reopen it, and then it wouldn't open, and then I had to like close out all my apps and like force close it, and then reopen it to get it to work. Now that might have just been my phone that wasn't doing, but like I was so pissed because I just wanted pizza, and I was like, I'm not working this hard for terrible, you know what I mean? Like it's not, because it's for me of the, and this is a good question for everybody. of the major pizza places like Domino's, Little Caesars, Papa John's, and Pizza Hut, right?
Well,
I'm thinking Domino's, then Papa John's, then Pizza Hut, then Little Caesars. Like as far as like ranking them.
What about
Well,
Papa
see-
Gino's?
We don't have a
I don't have that.
Gino's.
they don't have that. You see, with
Yeah, no,
Little
local
Caesar, it's
pizza's
kind
like
of in
is a
its
whole separate.
yeah,
Oh,
Little
I thought that
Caesar
was
is
a
kind of in its
chain.
own category.
What?
Little Caesars. Well, so Little Caesars, I feel like was always counted separately, and I feel you on that because they didn't deliver, right? But now you have delivery through like third parties or whatever, so you can get delivery Little Caesars. But like,
Eh,
it's I mean, for your dollar, it's pizza technically, and it is much cheaper. But
well, basically, I kind of consider it in the category of here is the pizzas, here is the expensive pizzas, and then over here, here's the cardboard.
yeah, I mean it's frozen pizza that they roll. It's through a rolling oven, isn't it? I'm pretty sure.
Yeah.
All right, pizza mission, guys. I gotta order it right now. Fuck.
Yeah, you gotta go for it.
Do
Go
it.
for it.
Pick up.
But yeah, I'm not a big fan of Pizza Hut only because of every time I've ever eaten there, they burn the pepperonis and then their pizza's so oily on top of it that the pepperonis literally curl up and they create these little pools of grease that are literally like literally swimming pools of grease on the top of my pizza. And granted, I know I can like dump that out or like pat it dry with a napkin or something, but like that's an extra step between me and eating pizza. So like, why would I? You know what I mean? I could just order something else.
So with those little ones that curl up, they're actually a different type of pepperoni.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I was actually talking to this out with because there's a couple of local pizza places. I mostly, if I'm getting pizza, I'm grabbing like from a local place because it's usually better. I only really get from a major place when I'm like grabbing Little Caesars because it's like, oh, everything is closed. Let's get this.
Domino's open
So-
till 2 in the morning.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, but again, Domino's is not good.
No. No,
it's
it's
like
not.
It's open
It's
at 2
not.
a.m. though, and that's the only
Yeah.
redeeming factor.
And they deliver.
so
There you
you
go.
have Domino's, you have Pizza Hut, you have all those little chains. They're not good compared to what you can get for, say, like one of my local places around here. We have this place like it's called More Than Pizza, or this other place. It's like BC's, and this place called Hungry Howie's. They
I think I've
have
heard of that one.
yeah, they have different types of pizza depending on what you're grabbing that day. Now, Hungry Howie's is kind of like Little Caesars in a way, but it's got more variety to the crust and everything. But it's again, it's one of those ones where you're like, oh crap, I need to grab something now. There. Or I need to provide a bunch of pizza for a bunch of people. I'm going cheap.
Yeah. Well, yeah, I mean that's the one redeeming factor of like Little Caesars, especially, and even Domino's or any of those main chains, with the exception of Papa John's. I feel like they're a little more expensive. Is that everybody else is like, you can get it if you're feeding, like you're buying pizza at work or something like that, and you're feeding 10 to 12 to however many people, like you can get a butt ton of pizza. But what a lot of people aren't, nobody said it yet, and I feel like a lot of people are sleeping on, if you have a membership, Costco Pizza. If you're
Yeah.
feeding, now granted,
You don't even need a
Granted, that's-
membership.
oh, you don't need a membership to get the
No, not at
Costco
all.
pizza.
No.
Oh,
They were
I didn't
talking
realize
about
that.
doing that to ever since COVID started to, curb people coming in, but they ended up not doing it.
Yeah, they probably lose a ton of profit because, but Costco pizza, you can feed a butt ton of people
It's so
for next to nothing.
basic.
It's so
though.
bad for you. Though.
Like,
well,
no,
it's
just like
it's
the
actually
sauce
worse.
is
I think it
just
has trans
plain and-
fats.
I don't know. I didn't really like it that much.
Really?
So
It's okay. Like it's pizza. Like fuck it, I'll eat pizza. But it's not a pizza. I'm like, oh fuck yeah, Costco pizza.
I think it's better than Little Caesars. I think just
is.
barely. It
Costco
just
pizza.
barely ekes out Little Caesars. But again, Little Caesars has the advantage of like I could get it delivered or whatever. Like I guess technically, can you Uber Eats Costco pizza? I really don't think you can.
I don't
Like,
think
nobody's
so.
gonna want.
No.
Nobody's gonna go in and get, because they have to go in and get that and wait in line and shit. Nobody wants to do that.
Yeah, but the big thing with Costco, at least recently, in the past year or two, they've dumbed down their menu. They took a lot of stuff off of it because they used to have combo pizzas and stuff like that. They don't do that anymore. It's pepperoni and cheese.
Probably just for streamlining, right? To make it, because
Yeah.
they can make them that much faster. Plus, the people that work at Costco are not exactly like the highest intelligence people on the planet. So
they're actually paid pretty good though. The whole thing with it though is like their whole menu. That was what I got, was Costco, because it was right next to work, and I could just get a meal for like $3.50, an entire meal with a drink. You get
it is cheap.
Those 2 slices of pizza, a freaking Polish dog, which they don't have anymore. It pisses me off. They only have hot dogs now, and then you could get a drink. It was great.
Yeah, and the slice you get from Costco is serious. Like, that is a big ass slice of pizza. Yeah, it's a giant wedge. Do you guys ever had Sbarro? Like the one you see at like the mall all the time or whatever. That's the only place I would ever, like when I was a kid especially, like we would get pizza by the slice or whatever. And Sbarro always had like a lot of options. I remember that shit not being that bad or whatever. Like I got excited as a kid, at least when I was getting food court pizza like that. But you don't really see a lot of those other than Costco and I guess a place like that. Like there's not, you can't go to Little Caesars and get a slice of pizza that I'm aware of.
So there's this place that's local to the Chattanooga area. It's called Loopy's. You can get just a single slice there.
Oh yeah.
Like,
well, yeah, local places. Loopy's.
Yeah.
There's a Me and Ed's that's one town over from mine that actually serves pizza by the slice, and they do some pretty decent slices. It's in a kind of like a mall area. And so they have the main restaurant inside, and then on the outside they have it to where you can order, nachos and Frito boats and stuff like that. All that kind of junk food.
Nice. So it's like a concession stand style where you like walk up and order it.
Yeah,
that's cool.
It's right there next to a movie theater, right there next to all these other places at this mall. It's kind of neat little location. But one of the best pizzas that we have around here is a local place that does like these giant pizzas. And for like 40 something bucks, you can get one of these pizzas that barely fits in your car.
I'm in.
Dude,
I'm totally
that's what I remember Little Caesars to be when I was a kid. When they first started Little Caesars, and I don't know if they'd already been a business or whatever, and maybe it's the first time I had it. But I remember being a kid, and like that's what I'm a family of 5. Like I have an older sister and a younger brother, and so that's a lot of people to feed or whatever, and we're all big people. So my dad would go to Little Caesars, and they don't have it anymore that I'm aware of, but it was like a sheet cake size. Like it was massive, this giant ass box of they only did it in like probably pepperoni and cheese or whatever, and you couldn't even split it. I think the whole thing would be pepperoni. If you didn't like pepperoni, you can pick them off. But like it was this massive pizza, and I was a kid, I don't know what they were paying for it, but I don't feel like it was a lot because it's Little Caesars. So like that was the appeal of that place. That's what drew us to it or whatever, because you could feed all 3 of your screaming kids for next to nothing. And with that size pizza, we could all eat till we were full or whatever, and then you'd still have pizza for lunch the next day and possibly even dinner after that. Like it was a ton of pizza.
And if you didn't know, Salty's an absolute giant, so I'm sure he can put away plenty of pizza.
Yeah, I'm 6'8".
Salty is
6'8",
a big man.
Yeah, I'm a big dude.
I'm 6'3". You got me by 5 inches.
Yeah, my whole family is tall too. So like the shortest one of my family is my sister at 5'11", and that's tall for a girl. my brother's like an inch taller than me. He's like 6'9", and then my parents are getting shorter as they get older, right? But like my dad at one point was 6'7", and my mom was like 6 foot. So,
Wow.
yeah, we are large people.
A family of giants.
A family of giants.
I was the tallest in my
Giants do
family.
exist.
Yeah, right.
I was the one that like got over 6 feet. Everybody else in my family was just right there, like 5'10", 5'11".
So close.
Shoot. I probably got you on weight though.
Yeah, I'm a little heavy right now, but I'm working on it. I've been up and down my entire life, so it's one of the nice things about having a bigger frame like that is I can actually lose much more weight like quicker than some people. Like if you know what I mean, like you're a small frame person, I feel like a lot more weight like it's like a ratio thing where I can drop 15 pounds in a month and it's not that big a deal. Where if it's a higher percentage of your overall body weight, 15 pounds is a lot, or it can be.
Yeah, I've been fluctuating from anywhere from 225 to 240 right now.
I've been getting fat in quarantine.
Yeah,
Oh,
quarantine
yeah,
has put on
shit.
some pounds.
I've
I
been
think
underweight.
the whole world. You've
Got
been
that
underweight.
Beer
No,
gut
I
now.
was gonna say I've been underweight my whole life.
I was gonna say
My,
I've definitely the cat's going up there again. You just since I've known you, like you're like on the regular ordering pizza and stuff like that. I don't know how you weigh as little as you do.
I have a
With
high
what you eat.
metabolism. I had a point in time that I finally
Positive
just
attitude.
got a little frustrated, and I went to a doctor, and he put me on a 5,000 calorie diet, which quite literally was just eating a milkshake with every meal.
Jesus.
I got so sick of milkshakes, but I got up to 145 pounds. My target weight was 160, but the second I stopped the milkshakes, boom, I just dropped right back down to 130, 125.
Wow.
I don't know. And I also have this is all another thing. I have a nasty habit where I've never ate breakfast really since I was like 16. Once I got to 16 years old and my mom stopped making breakfast for me and I had to make my own, I just didn't do it. And ever since then, I'm 29 now. I just don't eat breakfast. Like I'll eat a meal at 1 or 2 o'clock. I'll eat breakfast if I go out with people or if it's around. But I think that's the whole thing why I'll buy the cereal. I'll have it once, and then I just don't want to eat breakfast anyway, so I don't eat in the morning.
Well, you gotta not buy Captain Crunch. That's actually your brain saying, "Hey, this cut
It's
the
whole
heck out of
grain.
the roof of my mouth. Can you not get this again for a little bit? Thank you."
Yeah, let me punish my
The berries
my
aren't as bad
teeth.
because when you get Captain Crunch berries, you don't get as many of the sharp corners, and so it's not as bad.
I could see that. Or there's like peanut butter crunch and shit, but that's an entirely different cereal.
Peanut butter crunch, peanut butter crunch. I remember that commercial. Holy shit.
No, but that's
I had
like
to make
saying, "Oh, this only has a couple of razor blades in it. It's totally fine.
Yeah, right.
It's not the
Well,
whole
okay.
pack."
Apple Jacks is my go-to. Like if I see Apple Jacks in front of anything else, I'm gonna go for Apple Jacks. That's a good one.
I used to be a huge fan of Apple Jacks. That's what I ate when I was growing up. Like that's what I wanted every single time they said, "What kind of cereal?" Apple Jacks.
Honey Nut Cheerios. Once I
my
become like
daughter's
an
a
older
huge fan of
person,
that.
and like my kids will be eating like their fucking Lucky Charms, I'll be like, "Can I get my Honey Nut Cheerios? It's good for my cholesterol." Those heart commercials are still ingrained in my head. Did you guys ever have it came in the box, in the cereal box. It was a heart cereal bowl. The Cheerios. It was only like this big and even had like a lid to it. I fucking got that. I used that for like 2 or 3 years, but it ended up, I don't know what happened to it. I think my mom probably just threw it out.
I never got that.
I
We
love
didn't
when
get
toys
all
were in
the
boxes.
we didn't get all the toys and stuff like that in Mexico.
Oh, they didn't put
Wait,
the toys in the boxes.
You didn't get cereal? They didn't get cereal box toys?
So you got cereal boxes, but it was basically the stuff that was like the last season or the season before that. So you didn't normally end up getting like the toys and stuff because it wasn't like promotions down there. they didn't have all the ads and
Oh.
everything. And oh, hey, get this because it's got this
Oh,
in
yeah,
it.
that makes
No, it was like,
sense.
no, you're getting this because this is what you're getting.
Yeah, it's
Like,
food.
You need the
Yeah.
food. Eat the
down
food.
there, they weren't,
The food
getting
is
what
the
the
important
kid
part.
wanted. No, they were like, you're eating something here. Eat this.
Yeah, because that's, I mean, I don't notice so much anymore, but maybe just because I'm an adult, but like the marketing towards children, they lean so hard into that. Or they did when I was a kid, like with everything, literally everything. And most of the shows that we used to watch when we were kids were like literally just commercials for the toys. Like they literally made up shows that that's all it, yeah, that's all it was.
Beyblade.
It was literally created. The toy was first, and then they made the show just so that we would all tell our parents. And they used to say that shit in the commercials, like tell your mom and dad to buy you this.
Yep.
Like
Literally
like
would
it
say
was
that.
yeah. And you're like, all right, like, and then they
Good
know
idea,
that parents,
TV man.
yeah,
I'm gonna go
exactly.
bug
They
the shit out
know.
of my parents for the next 6 hours for this
You remember
shit plastic thing.
when the
Well, they
internet
know.
first started becoming a thing, and it'd be like, "Oh, you ask your parents for permission before you access this website." Like little things
Oh
that would pop up.
yeah.
Like, what
Nah,
dumbass actually went up to their mom and like, "Hey, can I go to coolmathgames.com right now?" It's just like, oh, they said no, and they went back and clicked the no button. It's
Yeah,
like,
Can I go
exactly.
back and can I play Kids Next Door online? No.
Yeah, or the age check, right? Like how many websites it's still, I mean, I don't know a better solution, but it's still a problem where you go to a website and then it's like you must be 18 years of age or whatever the age limit is, and they're like put your birth date in below. What little kid's not putting that he was born in 1975? You know what I mean? Like it's
no,
not
like
it's
that's
not difficult.
that is the craziest thing behind TikTok, because when Facebook first came out, obviously it was, for just colleges and stuff, but then they did the new like rehash where they basically made it you had to be 18 to have a Facebook, and then they made it like 16 to have a Facebook, right? I don't remember ever they probably lowered it more, but the thing is it's just like I was so blown away about TikTok because it's just like, how the fuck are 12-year-olds having access to social media? I'm sorry, but I mean, it's gonna be stupid with my kids, but I'm gonna have a hard time monitoring what they're doing on social media. But like my fucking 10-year old is probably gonna be on TikTok, and I'm like talking to random complete bum ass strangers in random locations of the world. Like
Yeah.
Yeah.
it's
It's
weird.
definitely something that needs to be like addressed with kids nowadays because it's a different kind of talk. We didn't have that stuff growing up. I didn't have TikTok. I didn't have Facebook. The most I dealt with was MySpace. And
Yo, put me in your top 10 friends, bro.
Yeah. Oh yeah, right.
Bro, let me get in the
Yeah.
top 10 friends,
Yeah.
dude. Are we really cool or not?
Not on, yeah, right? You guys are the
like,
master of segues, by the way. This is another one of our topics on the list. I don't know. Kids and unfettered internet access. Like
Oh, yeah.
is it
Brutal.
and separating real life from the internet. Like
oh man,
so
we
because
planned it.
it's not well right. It's not something that we had as a talk. And I was born in 1984. The internet wasn't a thing, so I literally this generation has grown up without seeing what the internet is, and then the internet is here, so now that's why a lot of us are like good with technology and everything else, and we understand it because we were here for the inception of all that stuff. But now like my daughter's 4, and she lives in a world where like it's I can't even imagine that like she has, there is literally wireless internet in the house, and like that's something I used to lay in my bed and dream about, was like a tiny computer that I could have in my pocket. And now what asshole doesn't have a cell phone, right?
Right?
oh man, I
Like
remember the
Mom,
teacher all the
get
time
off
being
the
like,
phone.
"Oh,
I'm on the internet."
you'll never
yeah,
have a
exactly.
calculator with you all the time, so you have to learn how to do these math problems
Oh, really?
Or
without
even
one."
or even the history teacher and shit. It's just like, you think this stuff is not it's just bull crap, but the thing is you're not gonna be able to know this anywhere else, anything else. It's like there's no. God, I remember when it was there's like this book
Appreciate the
that
follow,
used to, I
LG.
think they might still release it, but it was a book that came out, an encyclopedia. It was like the World Encyclopedia or something, but they came out with it on CD, and you could search the encyclopedia through their search engine on the CD, and like I literally, everyone else in my school was still doing looking up book stuff, and I was like, yeah, I'm looking up the World Encyclopedia, and I would just use that. I was like, it was like before the internet. It was so good.
Yeah. And then before the internet, when I was in like, I don't know, fucking 4th grade, and you had to write a paper on something that you didn't know anything about, right? And then I would go up into the attic, and my parents had a bunch of old encyclopedias, but we didn't have every single letter. Like, you know how they were sorted by letter?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. So I had like A, B, S, T, and like G. And so, like, if I had to pick a topic that started with one of those letters, because I didn't have any other options. There was no other way I was getting the info if I didn't pick something that I already had the encyclopedia for. And then basically you just go through and literally copy what the encyclopedia says onto your paper and change the words a little bit so that nobody knows any better. But now think about like these kids now with like every website in the world that has all these other papers and everything else. Like it is probably pretty easy to go all the way through school and learn absolutely nothing, like to just and get good grades because they can literally just pluck it from somebody else that's written it and change it around and plagiarize the shit out of it. And what teacher's gonna know? You know what I mean? Like, are they gonna scour the internet to try to find every single?
They have
no, they're
programs.
not.
So like early on when they used the programs with us, there was easy ways around it, but I'm sure the programs are a lot better. But they had the copyright programs where like if you were above 5% copyright on the program, you would get in trouble and stuff. So like they had that. And definitely in college it was a lot more stringent because we had to run all of our papers through that program in college. And it was definitely like something where like people would get caught, and like it wasn't a very often thing, but like the college is more lenient. It was more like 10 or 20%, but like when you had 20%, like usually you got kicked out of class. I forgot what it's called.
20% like hit through the program.
That means 20% of your essay was copyrighted. Yeah.
Oh shit.
And so the programs they use are really nice because it just scours the internet for these articles that you're supposed to be studying anyways, so it knows if you just copy and paste. Or for us, what it used to be is you could just, like, if you had a sentence, you would just rearrange the end and the start. Is that how you would do it? And you had to do that once every few sentences and you'd be good. But then they started getting good within just a few years, and you had to just change how your tactics were.
Yeah, I mean,
when I was coming through school, I was always smarter than my teachers when it came to the computer stuff, so I was always outwitting my teachers with computer shit. Like I took this computer aided design class. It was a CAD class, and the dude that taught the class, he didn't realize that the class he was teaching, every single one of the finished products of the designs were already, like, the blueprints were already on the internet. So me and my buddy were just pulling the finished designs off of the internet and copying pasting them into our shit, and then just playing games on the computer the entire class. And the teacher would always come over and be like, "Oh, you guys are so good at this. Like, how are you finishing so fast? Like, I don't even mind that you guys are playing video games all class. I'm gonna give you guys an A." And we're like, "Hell yeah, man." Dude just never realized that we were just copy and pasting everything from the internet. There was like a little link in the bottom, like, left of the class as you click through, and when you went to that link, it just showed everything at the end. And you're just like, "Well, this is easy A." But that's just how I felt like going through all of school. Was just like we were just ahead of the time because we were brought up in it when the older generation just wasn't.
So I did that.
Yeah, my teachers didn't understand computers either.
My senior project. So I don't know how your guys' high school works, but so I did Running Start, which is like a Washington State program that allows you to go to college when you're in high school. But even though I was doing that, I still had to do a senior project through the high school I was doing Running Start through. So I think the best thing that worked with this is, since I didn't know any of the teachers in the whole school when I did the project, all I did was I told them I was creating a video game and I was teaching myself C#. And I just went and I found an entry-level video game code, copy and pasted it, made my own sprites for it. So I just made my animations and pasted it over it. And it was like this little flying shooter. And I came in with like literally like it was like 49 page of code. And I was like, yeah, this took me about 100 hours to make and define. Here, you can play the game. I showed it to them. They're like, whoa, this is so cool.
Oh my God.
I was just like, I literally did this in a night while watching Lost.
Wow.
I still know nothing about C#. I know how to copy and paste the code into the program.
What you're saying is you not only cheated yourself.
Yeah, you screwed yourself,
Yes,
bro.
yes. Exactly. But I made them think that I was smart.
I remember back in middle school when iTouches first came out. The iPhones weren't even a thing. It was like the iPod Nano, and then the first iTouch came out, like the first actual screen you could move around, and it had internet access. And I think I was like in middle school, whatever at the time, and the teachers didn't realize that these things had internet access, and they just thought they were music devices, and like half the kids in the class had them in their hand during tests and shit, like, yeah, just switching my song, no big deal, and everyone's on the internet, like on the text apps on the internet, just like texting each other and shit. They're like, they're not even phones yet, but they could still go to the text apps, and it was anarchy. The teachers just were not caught up.
That's funny as shit. Hey, real quick, if you guys are watching and you're interested in the GPU giveaway, it's going to be soon, and you'll need to be able to chat, which is a 10-minute limit, I think, or 15-minute limit. So in about 15 minutes, we're going to do it. So get your follows in now if you want to be a part of that. I'm doing that to prevent bots.
Let's do it. Run some marbles?
Yep, that's the plan. We're going to do some marbles.
We should do some warm-up marbles.
Right?
Make sure my marbles ready to go.
I call Steelies.
Right.
I don't even know what marbles is.
Marbles on stream. It's it's literally a free Steam game, sort of like a game, where basically you can you connect it to your Twitch account, and then if you're streaming, you can it integrates with your chat, and then when I start it, people !play, and it'll add a marble into the race, like when it's waiting with their name on it. And then they all race, and it's RNG, so like it controls everything, and basically we all just like watch the race, and it's exciting. And then whoever wins, that's like how you decide who wins a giveaway or whatever.
Okay. What track are you gonna run? You're gonna run one where you could possibly have all of us fall off and have to do it again?
I mean, they're all pretty much like that, dude. There's so many that are just like completely like.
You can run some tracks where it's like pretty much no one's gonna make it to the end. You got to run it 3 times in a row. And it's just a miracle if you make it.
We'll keep running it until somebody makes it. But about what we were talking about just a minute ago, what do you guys think about the separation of internet and like reality, right? So like, because these kids now are growing up in a world that's already have high speed internet, they already have cell phones, they already have all this other stuff. And I saw it like upon not yet, it's not going to work yet. Upon inception of the internet, right? Like where people, and they're still everywhere, right, where they're just complete dog shit online, like, right, like because you're a keyboard warrior, right, like so you're behind an anonymous identity and you can just be or say anything you want, and so people literally do that. They're just shitting on people all day and just saying some of the most effed up things in the world, but then in real life they're not those people, right? So they'll talk shit to you all day online, but if they ever meet you, then they're like super nice and like everything else, because it's much different when you're a person and you're standing in front of somebody.
That's true. We had Call of Duty lobbies back in the day, though. I mean, those old school Call of Duty lobbies are pretty fucking brutal.
It was a Wild West. It was a Wild West.
Sometimes.
Yeah. Well, no, that's what I'm saying. It's still a problem.
Yeah, I think Coba's right, because the Call of Duty lobbies are now. They're just in different areas, and that's why you find those toxic pools in certain games.
It depends on the game mode in COD. If you play Search and Destroy, it's as toxic as can be.
No, I'm talking about like old school COD, like.
Like
the first couple CODs, like and like the old school Xbox Halo lobbies and stuff. Like, those were brutal.
Racial
slurs. Those were brutal, dude.
Well, basically it got
literally
to the point
and just say stuff
that everybody could just, they you can't see their face, you don't know who they are, you don't know where they are, and they just figure this is their time to be the person that they want to be, but they're too afraid to be. And it's just that horribleness that comes out most of the time, and it sucks.
Hey, Fire Mama gifted a sub to Eden. Appreciate that. Yeah, so it was the Wild West, right? With public lobbies in general. Like if you any game with in-game voice chat, even the games we're playing now, Sea of Thieves is not typically like that or whatever, but like Hunt, public lobbies, Call of Duty, people are gonna be shitty sometimes because there is League of Legends.
Like go into a Hunt lobby.
You right, but you play League of Legends all the time, right? And they don't have voice chat, and that's
if they did, oh my god, dude.
Yeah,
even
right,
the typing chat in that is bad, and people get
Right,
banned pretty
right.
quickly because they have a text chat like log to see, hey, this guy's the most toxic fucking player.
Right,
But
yeah.
if they had voice chat in that, oof.
The game is notoriously toxic for that stuff because people get so pissed about like somebody running the wrong lane or whatever, you know. And so they, do you guys think there's a solution to any of that? Like, because I personally think if somehow your online identity was basically like, I don't know, your like not your social security number, but like there was no way to hide. Like, you know what I mean? So
basically,
a good example
you have
is,
your
there is
online
no way to
ID.
hide. There is no way to
What's
hide.
that?
It is a false sense of security, is what it is. It's the people
Well-
have this false sense of security, and they think it's anonymity. But realistically, anyone with any sort of smarts can pull your IP, figure out where you are pretty fucking easily this day and age. Like,
right, but
that's people have a false sense of security on the internet, but then they get big. But realistically, it's not that anonymous.
Well,
Yeah, you
then
could
they have
definitely
things
find
like
people.
VPNs where you're moving things around.
That's
There's
true.
ways to counteract both of them, because it's just this constant battle back and forth of, well, now you can't find me. Well, I found a way around that. Well, I'm making a different way, and it's a constant back and forth with that. But really, there should be something kind of like your online ID, so that you're in a way kind of says, okay, this is this person. Now, it might not come up with your real name or your location, something like that, but if something needed to be tracked to you, I think that would be.
Yeah, wouldn't people
Yeah, but
use
like a
that
login
against
for the
other people,
internet,
though?
that's craziness. That's
If you want to smirch someone's name, okay, this is that person's online identity, and everyone knows that that's that person's online identity. You could figure out someone who's smart enough to figure out how to smirch that whole thing, like and make it look like your online identity is doing stuff that you're not actually doing.
I'm not smart enough to know how to do any of that stuff.
Well,
Yeah.
so there's ways around it, right? But so this topic recently came up because and I know Cobra, you have one, and I don't know if any of you Broke, you were talking about it, but the VR headsets, right? Everybody, VR is becoming more and more accessible to people. And now Oculus got bought by Facebook, right? And so now they have the Oculus Quest 2, which I have, and it's not that expensive for the small one. It's more accessible to a lot of people, and it's getting more and more simple to use, right? And so a lot of people that don't even have computers are buying VR because it's like it's something new and it's cool, and there's so much to do with it, right? But the interesting thing is, because Facebook owns Oculus, they are making it a requirement, and it was a big topic of discussion recently, that you link your Facebook your Facebook account is linked to it. And so, and the people that were the angriest about that were people that you could just tell were going to be toxic assholes, or they were going to like do stuff on the internet that they didn't want anybody else to know about, because there's a lot of stuff in VR, especially in like VR chat, that you can do that they didn't want anybody to be able to find out who they are. And granted, you can still like hide your real name and stuff, but it's still your Facebook account, and like it pulls your Facebook picture so they can see you. I don't even know if you can turn that off. I think you can change like the logo maybe, but
see, that's just that's just weird. And I don't, because like I don't. So the thing is, I don't even use my Facebook, but there's so much information that's tied into that I could give a shit to let a whole nother, like yes, I know Oculus owns Facebook, but like I don't need them sharing, because they're going to use that information with the apps within the thing. So like, oh yeah, you get these free apps that you download and you can enjoy, but I 100% bet you that there's some privacy policy that you signed off in Facebook and within Oculus that allows them to share that information in your profile and the stuff that you post with those companies, so they can push ads to you that are more generated to you and all those things. But it's also just like, I don't want my
yeah, that's
information
definitely
marketed.
the reason. I mean, but can you really escape it anymore? Like at
Well,
this
I just
point,
tried
like,
to in the series.
What are they gonna do? Send me more cat pictures? Sick. Let's go. Bring them on.
Yeah, that's actually
Right,
a thing that came up recently with me and my group of friends, where my girlfriend was over at basically martial arts with her kids, and all of a sudden she's getting like MMA stuff popping up on her feed for all the shows that she watches. It's something that's kind of weird. It's like the phone's picking up these hiya, ha, ha, and for some reason it's like, oh, I guess you want to watch fighting now.
Well, it's
Yeah,
like
Singing.
the second I started looking for engagement rings for Lydia, I never saw a single ring ad. I now will never not see them. It's everywhere.
Well, so once you start looking at honeymoons destinations and stuff, so it's that smart, right? So the Google algorithm, hold on, there's actually this website. What does Google know about me? I'll link it in the chat so you can see it. And basically what it does is it will tell you exactly what Google has learned about you, and it's kind of horrifying.
Oh god.
Yeah. So basically, what I'm trying to get at with that is we already have an online ID. It's just not ours. They're just using that for us.
That's true. Yeah, it's like in the background. We don't even know it's there. They do though.
They do,
People
and they
that
use
track the
it.
information.
They sell it off.
Yeah. So you have to go to your Google account, and then on the left navigation panel, you click Data and Personalization. Then you go to Google Dashboard, and then you can see all your Google services you use and a summary of your data. I have it checked on mine so that I don't participate in ad personalization, so they don't store any data on me anymore. But it is kind of interesting. Like, they'll tell you how old you are. You even if you never even told Google that directly, like in your account creation, which I don't even know. I think it just does a range or whatever. But they'll tell you exactly how old you are. They'll tell you if you're married. They'll tell you if you have kids, how many you have, what ages they are. Like, they can know based on the things that you Google, because they make assumptions based on certain things too. So it's not like, oh, you have to Google directly, things for this. They know, like, based on what you're looking at, like I said, like with the wedding, right? You're looking at honeymoon stuff. They're like, oh, okay, now we know he's already married. And then, they start feeding you targeted ads to fill that or whatever.
Because waiting to have kids, stuff like that.
Well, so that's where their money comes from. In ad revenue, Google has some of the best profitable ads because advertisers are willing to pay Google more because they know, with all the data that they have on you, that they can pay for let's say Domino's wants to buy ads from Google. They know they can specifically target. I want to target, white males between ages 18 and 22 that live in the southeastern United States. They can literally do that and pay a certain premium for those ads because they know exactly who they're going to feed those ads to, because Google has that all that information.
Or like that's Little Caesars will know that there is a certain somebody that really craves their pizza right now.
Yeah, right, exactly. Google's watching the stream and they're like, broke his phone is loving some crazy bread.
I can give you guys a real-time review of the new crispy thin crust.
Ooh.
Yeah, so go for it. I'm gonna take a few bites. I'll mute myself, and then I'll come back in 30 seconds.
All right.
I don't think the stream wants ASMR.
Well, that's up to the stream. Don't decide for
right.
me. No.
Yeah, there's pizza ASMR. Well, and I'm watching Cobra's tongue thing down there, just like licking still. It's disgusting.
It wants some of that pizza.
Pizza. I keep looking at other stuff, and then oh wow, yeah, that is a lot. Is that the extra most bestest where it like goes to the edge of the pizza? Yeah. See, that's actually something that Little Caesars has that nobody else that I've seen do. That's a definite, like, that's a S tier move right there. Putting the toppings all the way to the edge of the pizza like that. I like that a lot.
Mm-hmm.
Like, usually when I get thin crust pepperoni from them, that's what I'll do.
I've never had thin crust from them before, so this is like, it's good, but like usual, I think it's like their sauce is like, it's just tomato sauce.
Yeah, no, there's nothing. There's no frills, no bells and whistles coming out of Little Caesars.
Time for marbles. Let's do it.
Yeah. Yep, it is 9:15. I'm gonna wait one more minute till 9:15, and then we are gonna do the giveaway, and then we'll wrap it up, I think.
Mm-hmm.
Do I have to have it installed?
No, it's just me. You literally just have to be in the chat for the stream.
Oh, okay.
And I'm gonna pick some music to. I don't like the music that Marbles plays, so I'm gonna pick some some intense stuff here.
I need another soda water.
Oh man, Pat66 just followed.
Good timing, bro.
Yeah,
Man,
well, the problem is it's
tonight.
it's a 10-minute limit before you can talk and chat. Hold on.
You can change that.
Yeah, I'm
the
just
time
gonna
being.
turn it off. Yeah, I'll turn it off. I don't actually remember where to change it, but I'm gonna look for it real quick. I think it's under moderation. It is.
Salty had a list of topics that we were just going to touch base on if stuff slowed down, but I think we just rolled through it. That's basically what we did. And ironically, we hit a lot of those topics.
Yeah, we basically talked about most of them, and it just naturally went there. Like, I didn't even, y'all segued on your own. I didn't even have to do it. All right, so now it's still
I think it really helped when it started off with the Godzilla and King Kong.
Yeah. Well, that's always a good conversation. Is like that. You guys remember that show? By the way, it wasn't Man versus Bee. It was something. It was on like TLC or some shit, and it was one of those shows where it was like, this creature versus that creature, kind of like, fights. What the hell was that called? You know what I'm talking about?
No.
Yeah, there was a show that was like, it wasn't just creatures; it was people too, and it was like if Attila the Hun, huh?
It's like History Channel, or I think.
Maybe it was History Channel. Yeah, it was like if Attila the Hun fought Adolf Hitler or some shit. Like it was really
Deadliest Warrior.
Deadliest Warrior, yeah, I know.
Deadliest Warrior. That's what it was. Yeah. That was That show was nuts. I think they did animals in that too, right? It wasn't just people.
No, I think it was just people.
They had an animal one at one point too. That was just animals.
It was on History Channel
one too. Pretty sure.
I feel like there was one with animals though, or something. Maybe there was an episode with it, or there was a whole separate show. I'd have to look it up. All right. So let's start up marbles. And the way this works, chat, and you guys too, if you want in on it, is you have to be in the chat.
Should
you have
we even
to
get in on it, or what's the deal? Should we, as being part of the podcast, should we even get in on the marbles, or what?
I mean, if you want to, if you win, I'm sending you the GPU. You guys, if you already have a GPU, do you really need it? It's, I mean, I'm sure anybody that wins it could just turn around and sell it or something too, but I would hope that somebody gets it that like is either waiting for a GPU in their computer and literally can't do anything until then, because it's not top tier stuff, right? It's a 4 gigabyte GPU and it's older, but it will play League of Legends, it'll play Diablo 3, it'll play like World of Warcraft and like a lot of games that a lot of people play anyway. It's not super high end, but it'll definitely do.
Can it play Crysis?
It cannot play Crysis.
What about original?
What about Doom? Will it play Doom?
Will it run Doom at 7 million FPS for me, or?
Right.
Yo, who here has Doom?
What, the new Doom?
Yeah. Oh, Doom Eternal or the new one? Eternal or the new one?
Yeah. Doom Eternal is the new one.
Yeah, because I had the one that was on the Switch. That's the one. That one was badass, but the thing is, I didn't have one to play with, so it's only like I know it'd be fun in the multiplayer if you had other people to play with.
But have you guys tried the Doom for the VR?
What?
No.
Yes.
Holy shit!
Wait, Doom Eternal has a VR version?
No, there's a Doom VR.
It's like a separate thing.
It's its own separate thing. It is fun.
Huh. No, I have not. I didn't even know that was
called?
A thing.
Doom VFR.
Wow.
You can.
That sounds horrifying.
Yeah, it does. Yeah, it really fucking
just
does.
imagine.
So like, you know, Phasmophobia, right? You can play that game. That's that ghost hunting game. It's supposed to be super scary or whatever. You can play that game just from your desktop. Anybody can play that. But you can play it in VR, and I haven't played it either way. I haven't bought it yet, but I'm going to. But
I have. It's fun.
I can imagine that the difference between playing it on your computer, just sitting at your desk or whatever, versus VR is like two entirely different games, right? Because like I know how immersive that VR experience can be. If you got a good headset and everything else, that's got to be scary as shit. Because I've watched other people play it, and watching somebody play it is not that scary. But I could see, like, since I know what it's like, right? Like being in there, that would be absolutely insane.
It's
Having
a
that shit
whole
on my
nother
head for too
experience.
long gives me like sensory overload. Like I need to take it off after like 20 minutes. I'm like, oh man, what was that? Like that was too much. My brain hurts.
Yeah, right. All right, so I just switched the feed over. They can still hear all y'all and everything. All right, so guys, if you want to join the giveaway, it is !play in the chat.
Okay.
I'm still gonna play, but I'll give it to somebody if I win.
All right, cool. Yeah, y'all are welcome to play. !play in the chat. And that will throw in. I'll wait like a minute or two for everybody to get in, and then see what it's doing on screen. There is it's throwing you in. You'll have a marble with your name on it, and then we will race them, and then whoever wins, I will get your information after the stream, and that'll be it.
I'm gonna be the first one down the toilet bowl. I'm gonna
This
be the
one
first one
does
down
co-
the toilet bowl.
I hit random. This does kind of
Your
look like a
head to
toilet.
bowl.
It says the
Ooh.
funnel 2.
You gonna give me a swirly?
It's got a
Yeah,
weird
really
texture.
swirly.
Now it
Ooh,
looks
About that.
toilety.
my
Ooh.
favorite.
I
I've
honestly
run
just
this one
like
before.
swirlies for like a dessert. Like
My
a
time is up in the
peak.
upper corner. It's interesting. I think I was testing it earlier, and I probably ended up on this track.
Pat, you're already in.
Yeah. Once you hit !play, you'll see your marble on there. You're already in. You only have to do it once.
And you don't have to do anything, it'll just roll.
Yep. You don't have to do anything. You just watch, and we will
just
all
pray.
watch together. Yeah, basically, it's RNG. It's an obstacle course, right? So all these courses are different, and they're literally like hundreds of, if not millions, hundreds of thousands of them. And there's a lot of community created ones and stuff. I don't know. I just hit random, but basically it'll run, and then there's all kinds of little things to like slow you down or whatever. And if it sometimes you'll get knocked off too. It is a possibility on this track. I don't know what the percentage is. It doesn't tell me of people actually finishing it. So you might just get completely eliminated by one of the obstacles or whatever. There are some tracks where everybody gets eliminated. If that happens, then I'm just gonna cancel the giveaway and keep the GPU myself. No, I'm just playing. I'm gonna, I'll run it again.
Funny.
Nani?
All right.
Nani?
If everybody's in,
Shinderu.
I think y'all have had. What is the GPU? Yeah, I'll put it.
Shinderu.
Let me go back to full screen so you can see.
Nani?
Are we in an anime right now? What's going on?
All right, so this is the GPU. It is a GT 640. It is older, but it is a 4 gigabyte GPU. It is a single slot PCI Express. Its outputs are 2 DVI and 1 mini HDMI. So it's actually a solid GPU. It's EVGA, and it's like I said, you can see with like the small cooling fan on it that it's not super powerful. But again, it will play a lot of games that a lot of people play. And if you're like literally sitting there with a computer and don't have a GPU in it because you can't get one right now, we didn't really talk about the GPU shortage too much, but it'll get you by, right? All right, let me switch back. All right, let's start it up. Let me start some music here.
Da, 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 da.
We need to blast some DMX. X gonna give it to you.
No, this is some Harris Heller stuff, but it's like a little more like beat intensive, I think. All right, we're starting it up. 10 seconds it starts.
My marble's gonna win. Sorry, you guys can all go home now.
Nope. My marbles.
No, this is all me.
All right, we still do. I'm gonna narrate, right? And we're off. And in the front right now, we got Gamer Unicorn. Oh no, taking the lead is Flying Lizard. We hit the funnel. The funnel, we don't know who's going to get the lead here. It's anyone's game right now. Looks like Flying Lizard, though, is going to drop to the bottom first. Pat's right behind, and we got TNH and Jonah as well. Pat's crawling up more. He's getting closer. Pat's going to drop first, I think. It looks like Pat's getting close. Oh, shib's about to pass TNH Nova. Flying Lizard still got the lead. Pat's still running his butt. And no one else is to be seen. Wow. Where's
back
everyone?
there. Yeah, they're way back
Shib's
there.
in third. Shib is in third.
I'm coming.
Shib's in third.
I'm coming.
Right now it's just between Flying Lizard and Pat. Oh, but they're flopping around a bit much there. They might be able to get some gain right now from Shib. Yeah.
I'm coming.
There's a lot of stoppages coming up here too. See those like red markers in the track way up front.
Yeah, I'm good. I'm gonna pass the commentating off to my commentator.
Who's in third?
How did I just end up at
Jiraiya's in third. Pat's in second. Flying Lizard's in first.
Oh, Flying Lizard is just taking the lead.
Oh, he hit the boost.
He
hit the boost. Oh, he's hitting the bumpies. He's hitting the bumpies.
And kaboom!
Hacks.
Oh, he made it to
we
the
are now.
bumpies really easy.
I'm hearing from the audience that
guys.
we are thinking Flying Lizard is using hacks.
Flying Lizard is hacking. Flying Lizard is hacking. He's got wall hacks. He's got ESP. He's got aimbot.
He's actually in the game controlling the ball himself.
Don't you worry about what Flying Lizard is doing.
Oh, he's taking the long way around the dip.
No,
he's taking
Flying
the long way
Lizard's
around.
dropped behind. Do you see now? Eden the Doll's in first place.
No,
that's the pack.
Cobra's now in first place. This is an upset. This is a major upset. Yeah, LG, Zayd, and
Eden's in first.
TNA are now fighting for first place.
Yeah, Pat's in first right now.
Oh man. Yo, Pat's gonna win.
Yeah,
That's
it's switched up.
Coming up.
I think that is. Looks like Pat's got it.
Pat can take this right now pretty easy.
Yeah, I don't think there's anything stopping him.
Oh, he's
looks like Pat's got it
too.
Oh, this is it.
You almost fell off.
Oh!
There it is.
Oh, he's got it. He's got it.
Yeah, Pat
got
won.
it.
Flying Lizard in second.
If I were Flying Lizard, I'd be pretty salty right now.
Oh man, pure Noah just eked out Shib.
Flying Lizard was gonna give it away anyways.
I'm in 9th place. What the fuck is that? Eden, there you go.
Everybody's dropping in. There's Broke. He finally showed up. Late.
Eden got last.
Pat 66.
I know a couple people fell off the top.
Yeah, I think we lost some people. Let's see final results here. Did not finish was LG Zayd is the only one that lost it there.
LG didn't make it to the
Did
end.
not qualify.
He's the real loser.
That's what happens when you come in at the last minute there, man.
Ouch. All right. So I'm thinking we wrap up the podcast, and then Pat, if you send me, I'll send you a whisper on Twitch so that I can get your information, and then let me see, go back to 5-man. Here we go.
It wasn't pink marbles, that's why.
Well, see, you have to pay. So there's a paid version of marbles where you can get like
skinned marbles.
Yeah, you can get skinned. You can like have like special tracks. There's all kinds of like extra stuff. But I do not pay for marbles. And I'm not about to start.
It was funny. The entire time that you guys were watching that, mine was like 5 seconds behind. So you're dictating the whole thing. I'm like, oh, I know what's gonna happen next.
Yeah, mine was behind too, and they were all commentating, and I was like, shit. when I heard, oh, he got through those red things real quickly, I was like, damn it. That was my only hope.
All right, so Any last topic before we wrap up? Or you guys just want to call it? This was good.
Yeah, this was fun. When's the next one?
Yeah.
When are you doing it again? Because if I'm not on it, I'm definitely tuning in.
Next, I want to do it monthly, so I'm
Cool.
thinking next month sometime. I haven't. I'll figure out a date, but I'm thinking Saturday night's probably going to be the way to work it. Simply because, like, with people, I was thinking Sunday before, or we were going to do it last week or whatever. But then, you know, people got work the next day and everything else, and then it's you know, nobody wants to stay up too late, and they always, you know, people got stuff going on. But Saturday night, typically, people would be playing, gaming on their computers anyway, so why not hang out here? Damn, y'all wrecked that whole pizza so quick.
Bro, I couldn't stop myself, and I just started eating that next piece, and I
Broke's gonna
realized
lose 3 pounds
halfway through it.
He's
Broke's still gonna lose 3 pounds still. Don't worry about it. He's good.
I know.
Have chew.
I could still eat that piece.
Like literally
Wow.
every.
So, only other thing I ate
Broke,
today
me and you
was-
going live playing Hunt or what?
Yeah, I'm down.
Yeah, I'll host.
Literally nothing, like, all day, and
I'll
then,
host
like,
you guys, I guess. And then since it's probably gonna be next month, I don't know. You guys are all invited back, obviously. Cobra, you're gonna have to change your image or get a face cam because I'm not gonna stare at that tongue next time.
So true, dude. Get it out of here.
But yeah, aside
He's just
from
gonna
that,
send
yeah.
you like the heart licking something else.
Oh
No.
god.
Next time, I'm gonna make like I'm gonna shrink that image down and make like a different image out of it.
Oh boy.
Like an image
my God.
inside an image, so it's
Well,
like a
you could do
picture,
the-
a picture of somebody holding that image, so that we still have
Yeah.
to stare
It's
at
a
it.
lickception.
Oh god.
Like I'm gonna make an image of the licking heart
So
out of the
full.
licking hearts.
Ugh.
That's pretty crazy.
How the hell do you actually exit this game? Oh, there it goes.
You
You
farted.
don't.
Yeah, right.
You're stuck in the game forever.
No, I got it.
Do you want to play a
all right.
game?
Do you
Yeah,
I'm
right.
playing the Saw.
Did you want to play a snowman? I mean,
Yo, come on, man.
Yeah, Pat says you
man.
can use your old Android phone with Droid Cam, and you can yeah. So actually, and that's interesting too, because most people's phone cams are better than the camera they use on their like most like webcams anyway.
Yeah.
Sweet.
But yeah,
using Droid Cam is pretty nice.
which one of you, Shib? You said you're going live with Broke and all them.
I'm live right now. I'm on the start
Or
soon
no,
screen,
actually, well,
brother.
we need to get Broke to affiliate. I'm gonna host Broke if he's going live too.
yeah, I'm
Do it.
getting there.
Yeah, if
Go
you
for
guys,
Broke.
if you guys have not followed anybody in here, twitch.tv/brokehisphone, twitch.tv Cobra. You're gonna start streaming on that account, right? /cobra980.
Yeah, eventually.
Okay.
Probably within
And
the next
then-
few weeks.
twitch.tv/shibOG, and Drach, you stream on Gamers and Unicorn, right?
Yes.
I think he's posted it in the chat before. If you want, just throw your you guys. I don't know if you can put links in my chat. Probably not. I think Shib's mod he can. But anyway, yeah, follow all these guys. I'm gonna send you over to Broke. They're gonna go live. We got to get Broke to affiliate, so definitely follow that man. And then, like I said, you guys are all invited back, obviously, for the next one. And then we'll just toss around the host.
Sounds
As
good.
incentive,
Eden,
As
Lydia
incentive.
would like to let you know that she is going to be reading tonight, but she'll be on playing tomorrow if you want to play with her.
if y'all don't follow Broke, the heart image will haunt you forever in your dreams. Whenever you close your eyes, that's all
Are you
you'll
going
see.
to?
Yikes. 100 years of bad luck with the heart haunting your dreams.
So
Right.
you better follow him, or else
Or else.
you've been
Yeah.
warned.
God, this hunt music is creepy.
Yeah, hell yeah.
All right, I'm logging.
I like the new theme and everything. It's good.
Yo,
right.
thanks for the follow. I haven't even started.
All right. So go live, bro.
Spear of
and
the
then
heart.
I'm going live right now. I gotta just deactivate
right.
my camera here so I can activate it there. Peace out.
All right. You guys have a good night. Thanks for being here.
Yeah, later, guys.
Thanks
Big
for being
success.
part of this. Yeah. Big success.
Big success. I like.
This was the first of many, hopefully. And we will see you next time.